I was always told I would never be able to make it big as a private investigator. I've only had a few cases up to this point. My first was a fraud case. Turns out that old man had his son pretend to be a puppet that came to life so he could steal from the crowd. I was able to find all the missing wallets and jewelry backstage during one of the performances. Next big case was that mass kidnapping case. All the police said was that those kids just wanted to get out of school and made up a crazy story about some flute-blown crazy person. But I was able to find the guy. I knew if the jury saw the number of holes I could poke in his alibi, that I could get him to take the fall. And what I thought would be my big break was when I handled the case of the young girl poisoned by some old hag. Was able to pin it on her when I found out that the hag was lying about who she really was. No jury could believe anything she said after that. But it had been about 3 months since that case, and I was starting to believe him. I was wrong to assume that once you solve your first big murder case, that the cases would start flowing in. I needed a big name. I needed someone who would get me the front page.
I would have called, but I need to explain. I need your help with my fiance. She's missing.
That's when Frank walked in. I had my case. Frank had explained to me that his fiancée Laura went missing earlier this morning. Their wedding day. The police had said it was just a runaway bride and that they would not look into it, but I knew this would be my case. When I showed up, all the house staff was there, and after exchanging pleasantries, I asked to interview each of them privately.
She said goodnight and went to bed. We were both talking about before that how excited we were for the morning, and all of the things that we had left to do. There's a lot to come together. Anyway, I went to my room and just needed to finish up with the seating. When I heard the door slam, the seating charge, sorry, and I heard the door slam and the floor shakes a little bit because it's old mansion. And so I got up to check on it, but then I saw a little note under my door from Laura saying that she was just going for a late night walk because she just needed to move. That's what she did. Couldn't sit still. But she, I looked out the windows. This was around, I think, midnight. I looked out the window and saw her on her way out, and so I just went back to bed. I actually fell asleep pretty quickly though. So.
Nothing stood out to me about his stories. It was his behavior. He seemed distraught, but also like he needed to come up with a story on the spot. I had to get more information before I came to any conclusions, however.
There was a cold snap, a couple of dead flowers, especially the good roses, all died.
We were busy until almost 1 a.m. Just swapping out dead flowers for live ones.
I think about midnight is when Laura came out. Didn't say anything to us. Just walked right past us onto her aunt's.
Shepard, he's a butler. We saw him about 9. And he ran to the car and drove off. Saw him again just before we finished up.
The gardener and the florist both had the same stories, almost like they were trying to fill in each other's gaps. There was something that didn't quite sit well with these two, however. They both accused the butler, so he was next on the list.
I left to get rolls. The baker had called. They had a whole outbreak of sickness. Nowhere was open to cater, and I had to turn to the unsavory option, grocery stores. Every last one of them had nothing. What kind of grocery store runs out of rolls? I may have lost my cool. I came back defeated.
He was very passionate about his bread. Anger issues, it seems. He was gone in the time frame, too. Unfortunate that he had a solid alibi. There were social media posts about a well-dressed man that had gone wild about bread in a supermarket. Oh well. Next up was the maid of honor.
Laura is such a sweet gal, and I was so excited to hear that she was getting married. I mean, I know she was really close to her aunt. She would always spend time with her when she was stressed. She woke me up last night, though, to let me know she would be back in the morning, and I don't think she ever made it.
The maid of honor was awful persistent. Unfortunate for her, her alibi lined up perfectly with the time frame that Laura went missing. Someone so adamant about how sweet a person is usually is a sign of opposite feelings that are truly there. She also was the only one, other than Frank, to know she had left.
I found her. Them. They're together. They're dead.
The best man, Frank's brother, had found the bodies while out on a morning run. Laura and her aunt were dead. They went out on a late night walk and were attacked by a lone wolf, police reports said. Bite marks, claw marks, and blood everywhere. But I knew better.